Alright, Pat, we all know the drill. Time to torture myself with another horrible game. But because it's for a good cause, how could I not? It's Snoopy's Silly Sports Spectacular. First, I want to go through a little history lesson on how this game came about. Remember Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle? Well, originally Crazy Castle was released as Roger Rabbit for the Famicom Disk System. And no, it has nothing to do with the LJN published travesty Roger Rabbit for NES. And notice I said published. Did you know Who Framed Roger Rabbit was developed by Rare, the company that made great games like Donkey Kong Country and GoldenEye? As much as I've pointed fingers at LJN for publishing shitty titles, let's be honest, Rare was also an accomplice to the crime. Anyway, Kemco was the company that made this Roger Rabbit, but after some time the rights to that franchise expired, so when it came time to make the next game, they went with a Donald Duck theme. Kemco was able to do this because they had the license to publish Disney-themed games in Japan. What is that, Donald and Daisy beating the shit out of each other? Looks like they should have called it Donald Duck's Domestic Abuse. They wanted to release this in North America, but the problem was, at the time, Capcom held the exclusive license with Disney, and they did a great job with it, giving us classics like DuckTales, The Little Mermaid, and Darkwing Duck. And that finally brings us to Snoopy, which is what Kemco decided to go with for the North American reskin. Now, as much as I love Snoopy and the whole Peanuts franchise, was this really the best choice? Were kids or anybody really asking for a Snoopy game? So, this is Snoopy's Silly Sports Spectacular. It's a multi-sports mini mashup similar to track and field. It's set in Italy, which makes no sense. If anything, it should take place in Duckburg since it was a Donald Duck game originally, and it makes even less sense now that it's got the Peanuts branding. It's almost like Kemco created the game for something entirely different, but once they were in control of the Disney license, it was quickly retooled in order to get it out fast, which is the classic tale of tragedy to so many bad games. To top it off, the game appears to be a huge rip-off of alternative world games for the Commodore 64. So we already have a relicensed, rebranded, retooled, rushed into production reject of a release, and I haven't even started on the gameplay. So the game is comprised of a bunch of mini-games. It would have been nice if you were a different Peanuts character for each event, but they went the cheaper route and limited the characters to just two, Snoopy and his brother Spike. Let's talk about the events. The sack race is a race inside a potato sack. Fair enough idea for a minigame, but my question is, what's up with this street? Have you ever seen a street with so many manhole covers? It's like they knew the game was shit, so they wanted to give every opportunity possible to remind you where it belongs. You essentially just tap A and press right to keep jumping. Holding down A will make Snoopy jump farther, and tapping it quicker will make smaller jumps. You just need to keep a good steady pace doing medium to long range jumps while avoiding the manholes. The annoying part is when Spike gets left behind, Woodstock will push him forward, essentially cheating them back into the game. It's similar how when you play Mario Kart and if a racer falls into 8th place, the game will help out by raising the chances of a star or a lightning bolt. The game rewards you for sucking, but that's not really fair to the person who's doing well. And when Snoopy wins, what's he doing underneath that bag? Alright, here we have boot throwing. For this one, you rotate the D-pad clockwise. That sounds like fun, right? And then hit the button at the appropriate time to see how many feet Snoopy can toss the boot. While waiting for the events to load, I get impatient and I'm just tapping the button in hopes that the screen will load faster. Don't do this because Snoopy will drop the boot as soon as the screen shows up. Don't you think they could have had a gun pop warning the same way they did with the sack race? There's no excuse not to have it since it's already there for one of the games. After he throws the boot, Woodstock comes out to mark how many feet it's been tossed. In the original Donald Duck version of the game, it was Louie, I think. I can never tell the difference between Huey, Dewey, and Louie, so I rewatched one of the cartoon shorts, and it's simple. The one wearing green is the one wearing red is and the one wearing blue is Get it now? And then what? He's giving me the finger? Well, fuck you too. The game is saying, go fuck yourself. Here's the pogo jump, where all you have to do is jump the walls with the pogo stick. Simple enough concept, but too bad the controls are anything but simple. You push right on the D-pad to move. Sometimes it will move you right and sometimes it won't. On top of that, when it does move you right, there's no way to know how far it's going to move you. After some practice, I was able to figure out that you have to time it so that you press the button when the pogo is at its lowest point. This will allow you to jump, but that still doesn't fix the issue of the distance you move to the right. The worst part is if you get too close to the wall, it doesn't allow you to go back and reposition yourself for a clean jump. If they would have just allowed you to back up to get in the right position, this event might have been decent. God! Oh my god, I'm gonna make it! I'm gonna make it! Yeah! I made it and I have no idea how. I did well and I still think it sucks because I have no idea what I even did. There's no sense of accomplishment here. I just got lucky. Next event's called Overboard. Whoever knocks the other one out of the boat first wins. I really can't figure out the controls on this. The thing I hate about this is that it requires no thought or skill whatsoever. Just mash buttons until you win. Here we have Pile of Pizza. This event takes place in front of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Pizza, get it? You know what it looks like he's carrying? Oh no, I shouldn't say. I almost made it through one single Pat Charity video without one single mention of pork roll! So you have to make your way to the marker, dropping as few pizzas as possible. If you move too quick, the pizzas will fall everywhere. Pizza shit. You need to move as slow as possible if you want any hope of getting to the other side with a complete stack of pies. That's just what kids love to do, isn't it? Go as slow as humanly possible. So much fun. Has any human being ever made it to the other side without dropping a single piece of pizza? The worst event of all is the river jump. The goal is to time the pole vault not too early and not too late to make it across the water, but the margin of error is incredibly slim. If you're doing the compete in all events playthrough, you only get one shot to figure this out. You're given no time to learn how to get the timing down on something that would take hundreds of attempts to master. You tap the A button to run, and unavoidably, Snoopy will fall into the water, again and again and again. If you try long enough, you'll eventually be able to get the pole to stick in the water. That's a bit of progress, but then Snoopy just slides down the pole like a turd sliding out your ass. Man, I am determined to get across this river, no matter how many tries it takes. Oh my god. Oh, come on. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You know what? I sat there and tried to get across this gap for 30 minutes. A half hour of my life I'll never get back. And I tried the event in the Donald Duck version just to see if it was any different. And it sucks just the same. Even if I somehow made it, endlessly attempting the same thing hundreds of times to eventually find the frame-perfect place to tap the button isn't my idea of fun. This isn't gameplay. It's torture. With such a rich history of great comic strips and animated specials, a great character like Snoopy deserved a better NES game. He'd have better luck shoving that entire pole up his ass than jumping across the river. This is like Winter Games, just another frustrating trial in the NES series of broken-ass Olympics. That's it, I'm done. Anyway, hope this helps out. Like I said, it's for a great cause. Hope the event goes well, and I'll see you next time.